So I need to make 4 layers to go with my background. And for this, I decided instead of finding things to put in here from other images, I was just going to duplicate the layer of the background and then cut out pieces that I could use to stack as layers in front of the background. So I'm changing my brush size, and I'm just going to erase out my new layer. You can see I had a smart layer here. It made a smart layer when I dragged it in, so now it just says, get rid of the smart layer, and I did that. I'm going to erase out. I'm going to get these like mushroomy things here over on the side. So first I get the big parts, and then I zoom in and I'll get the close-up parts. In this case, I'm just using an eraser. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do this. Using a selection tool and hitting delete is a much more accurate way. And zooming in even closer with a smaller brush is also a more accurate way. I'm doing it sort of quickly here just as so I can get through the demonstration. It should take a little bit of time, but I'll do a pretty good job. If you hit the brackets keys, you can change the size of the brush. So when you see me not go up top to the brush area and you see the brush size change, I'm just hitting the bracket, left and right bracket, to make the brush smaller or bigger. Photopea really does just mimic Photoshop in pretty much every way. So I got that layer pretty well cut out, and I need 4 layers total for this project. So I duplicate my background layer. I get rid of the smart layer. I turn off the other layer's visibility so I can see, and this time I'm going to go get this sort of rock formation over in the right hand side. Once again, I'll get the big areas first with the big brush, and then I'll zoom in to go get the small areas. Get accuracy. The more you zoom in, the more accurate you can be. So I'm just going to finish up a couple of the quick details here. Zoom out. And here I'm labeling each of my layers. You just got to double click on the name, and then you can label it. So I've got 2 of my 4 layers. I'll duplicate my background once again. Now you could do this by finding other things online and bringing those images in and cutting it out. So I could put other objects in here from other pictures if I wanted to. I just thought I would use this sort of fantastical sci-fi alien planet scene and pull from what was already there. So this time I'm getting those purple big mushrooms that are over here on the left hand side. And again, I'm using the giant brush to go like delete the major areas of this image for this layer. And then I'm using the brackets to make the brush smaller. And I'm just going to do more fine editing. I'll zoom in more to get more detail. And, just repeat the process. Once again, there's time to lean that layer. So that layer is layer 3. I have 3 of my 4 layers. Once again, I'll turn off the visibility and duplicate my background and make my final layer. Now in this case, I'm going to get those like yellowy orange flowers. So I'm zooming in here, making sure that layer is selected, and dealing with that smart object question it asks. And here we go. I'm just going to erase out. You can see I didn't like what I did there, so I just undid it, right? Command Z will let you undo. Does something like this take time? It does, and actually the more you zoom in and the closer you get and the more accurate you are, the more detailed your experience can be. I am doing this relatively quickly just to give you an idea of what you have to do. But you should understand that nice slow movements, accurate movements, zoomed in, small brushes, you can make something look real. Now I'm going to zoom out and just get rid of all the backgrounds. You can see how I cleared out that area, right? It makes it easy to do this without hurting anything we're interested in having as that layer. Changing my brush size up here under the brush, and that's it, right? I'm going to cut out. Now, it's artist choice here. You get to cut out and reveal what you want to cut out and reveal. No one can tell you've done it wrong, right? You're really creating this illusion, this three-dimensional illusion from these 2D objects. And we're going to mix this illusion with our 3D object, right? We're going to have a 3D object floating with our 2D objects in Artivive. So here I'm just trying to make these layers that we can see my 3D object through. See, even I mess up. Just a little Command Z lets you go back. And now that we have all our layers cut out, our 4 layers to go with our one 3D object and our one background, we're ready to go. All we have to do is save this as a PSD, and we prepared the file.